Hello all, welcome to the demonstrational video of Capstone Information Security Project. The date today is 17th of July 2023. Right now the time is 1:26 p.m. So basically this is the video to show the elaboration of how firewall and elastic load balancer in the AWS can protect you from some malicious activities like SQL injection. Altoro Mutual. This is a website which I'm going to use for the demonstration. This is basically a banking website, web application, and it is a sample banking Java-based web application. It shows what happens when web applications are written with consideration of app functionality but not security. It uses Java and JSP functionality without relying on any additional framework. So that was it about this website. And for this demonstration, I have hosted this website on AWS EC2 console, EC2 instance. Now for coming to that, let us see where we got this URL from. We got this URL from our load balancer of EC2. This is what I have opened here. This is my load balancer. I have named it demo load balancer. Let's copy its DNS name. And here, if we paste it, we have to also write Altoro Mutual, enter, and we are here on this banking web application. Here, if I have to sign in, I have to give some credentials. I know what the credentials are for now. Let's say admin. We will come to SQL injection in a moment. Let's log in. Here we are inside the after signing in inside this application, Altoro Mutual. This is banking website, so you can know, you can predict like if someone with malicious approach has somebody's credentials, then what he can do with this. He can do whatever he wants. He can send money and all that to himself or do all the corrupt work, whatever he desires, with the name of the person from whose credential he logged in. Anyhow, so we know that by this that it has been hosted on AWS. Let us come to the EC2 management console. This is the EC2 management console of AWS. This EC2 Elastic Cloud Compute is a service of AWS, which I am using right now to host my application. This EC2 is Linux based. Here I have opened this. I am logged inside my EC2 instance that is of Ubuntu. Now, coming to the SQL injection, or a type of hack which can be used to log in if somebody is not having the IDs and passwords of a website and he want to do some malicious activity with it. So SQL injection is a type of hack which can be used if the database is SQL based. So we know that the database is SQL based in this application. So for example, we are a hacker and we want to hack this website, or we want to log in without having the legitimate user name and password. So we are going to use the technique of SQL injection. SQL injection is a technique where a hacker, is going to enter the SQL query inside the username and password, and that SQL query will, once you click login, that SQL query will behave like a username and password. Basically, it will bypass the requirement of username and password, because that SQL query uh, will make it the query, when it will run in the background, it will give the API such such feel that it is true in nature, and he should accept, and the web application should accept the guy who is trying to log in. For this, I have saved a SQL query. Okay, if we want to give a brief look on this SQL query, we can understand that we are giving SQL query of a password or 1 equals to 1. It means that once this is entered as a login, SQL query will run in the background and match whether the password is this. It's not true, right? Then it will come back and check or 1 equals 1. 1 equal 1 is true. So that will give it a fake feeling that the credentials are true. I'm giving the same for the password and I'm now logging in. This is the way SQL injections work, and I'm able to log in again. Now, the thing of concern is that if this is the way how banking applications are going to behave, then anyone with the knowledge of SQL injection can hack inside it and do all the malicious work. He can send money to somebody or corrupt the data or whatever. There are many sort of things which somebody can do. We can like for now we can just Google search it and check what problems can be caused by attack of SQL injection, and we can see a lot of things like somebody can tamper with existing data, cause reputation issues such as voiding transactions or changing balances. So for imagine a scenario where you open your banking application and you see that your bank balance has been changed to something. The data he can make the data unavailable and many sort of things he can do. So we can understand that it is a very serious issue. We are creating a web application, so we must make sure that we don't give any hacker any chance, any vulnerability to hack inside our application and do anything. For that purpose, for that demonstration, what I have done is I have created a load balancer which I have application is running. Why have I done that? Some things to know about load balancer. The basic thing is its basic idea is to split the traffic equally into my instances. That's the basic thing about load balancer. But here I'm not splitting traffic because I only have just one AWS instance. The work of load balancer is when there are multiple instances and the traffic is coming, it hits the load balancer first and then it gets splits into multiple instances one by one in a round robin using round robin algorithm. But here I am using load balancer because I had to attach the web application firewall to it. This is the web application firewall page of AWS, and I have opened some rules to show you that what web application firewall in AWS is capable of. And for our concern right now is to stop the SQL injection attacks. Here we can see that there is a rule which says it can stop the SQL injection attack. Basically, it is saving us from the exploitations caused by this attack. Let's come to the web application firewall which I have created and set these rules. I have opened this page just to show you. I have already created a web application firewall, so there's no need for this page. I close this. Here I am on my web application firewall page. We can see that we have one load balancer whose name is demo load balancer. in my web application firewall, if I see that associated AWS resource, it says no results. There is nothing to display. Basically, I can understand that nothing has been attached to the firewall. The firewall is existing but not working because it doesn't have any resource where it will perform its its task to stop the injections and malicious activities. So right now I'm going to attach my AWS resource of load balancer whose name is demo load balancer to it. Here I added it. Successfully associated web ACL with demo load balancer. Now we can see it under the associated AWS resources that demo load balancer has been attached. Now this should be able to protect us from the SQL injections signing in. Let me try with admin first. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm able to log in. Now let's try back with the same SQL injection. Let me copy this. I'm going to paste it. Now my firewall is attached to it. It should work. See, it says it's forbidden. And why is that? That is because we have attached our firewall to the load balancer, which is attached to our AWS EC2 where our application has been hosted. So by looking at this demonstration, we can understand that if there's a normal request, somebody with legitimate credentials like I did with admin, user ID and password, I can go through the web application firewall and get myself logged in into the website. But if there is somebody with not a good nature, who's a hacker, who wants to do something malicious, who does not have credentials, and he's trying to use the SQL injection, my web application firewall is going to stop it. So we can understand that web application firewall on AWS or anywhere is a very good way to stop such SQL injection or XSS type of hacks. So this is our demonstration. I hope you're able to understand each and everything from this. And this is basically it. Thank you so much for listening carefully to my demonstrational video, and I hope you like it. Thank you so much.